What happens when a senator's wife gets caught drunk driving and then in the middle of her court hearing pulls out her cell phone and calls her husband for help? This 4 or 5-year-old woman is about to learn that some phone calls you can't make, some positions don't grant immunity, and some husbands choose integrity over protection. It's a Wednesday afternoon in Providence Municipal Court. Judge Frank Caprio reviews a case that has generated intense public interest. Diana Crawford, age 45, wife of Rhode Island State Senator Michael Crawford, charged with DUI, leaving the scene of an accident, and failure to render aid. 9 days ago at 9:47 p.m., security cameras captured everything. Diana Crawford was driving her Mercedes SUV when she struck a parked 2015 Honda Accord, causing significant damage. The Honda belonged to Robert Martinez, a 7-year-old Vietnam War veteran who was inside the pharmacy picking up medication for his wife, who has MS. The footage shows Diana inspecting the damage for 30 seconds, then driving away without leaving information or calling police. Police tracked her home 40 minutes later. Her blood alcohol content was 14, nearly twice the legal limit. When officers arrived, Diana's first words were, "Do you know who my husband is?" Now Diana enters Judge Caprio's courtroom in an expensive outfit, walking like someone attending a charity luncheon, not someone facing criminal charges. Her attorney, Thomas Whitmore, immediately requests to discuss matters privately given Mrs. Crawford's position in the community. Judge Caprio's response is immediate. "Mr. Whitmore, this is a public courtroom. All proceedings stay on the record. If your client's conduct can't survive public scrutiny, that's a problem with the conduct." The attorney emphasizes that Diana has no criminal record and that Senator Crawford's legislative work has benefited countless constituents. Judge Caprio interrupts. "Your client's husband's legislative record is not evidence in this case. We're here to address what she did, not who she's married to." When asked if she understands the charges, Diana responds, "Yes, Your Honor, but I think there's..."
Buckle up, guys. Today we're going to watch what happens when privilege walks into a courtroom expecting immunity. The case unfolds as Judge Frank Caprio reviews charges against Diana Crawford, the wife of a state senator, accused of DUI, leaving the scene, and failing to render aid. Surveillance footage, police reports, and her own words quickly establish that this is not a misunderstanding, but a serious incident drawing intense public attention.
There's been some exaggeration. Exaggeration? Judge Caprio picks up the police report. "Mrs. Crawford, you struck a parked vehicle while driving with a blood alcohol content of 14. You left the scene. These are facts, not exaggerations." Diana shifts uncomfortably. "The damage wasn't that serious, and I thought the parking lot was private property." Mrs. Crawford, "Hit-and-run laws apply to all property, and whether damage is serious isn't determined by the person who caused it." The security footage plays. The impact is clearly visible. Diana examines the damage for 30 seconds, then drives away. There's no ambiguity. Mrs. Crawford, the footage shows you standing there for 30 seconds. That's long enough to leave a note, call police, or do the right thing. Judge Caprio reviews Robert Martinez's victim impact statement. His insurance deductible is $1,000, difficult to manage on a fixed income. His wife's wheelchair van is in the shop, so they rely on the Honda for medical appointments. Mrs. Crawford, have you attempted to contact Mr. Martinez to apologize or offer to cover damages? Her attorney explains that legal counsel advised against direct contact.
As the hearing progresses, the courtroom tension rises. Diana downplays the incident, calling it exaggerated, but Judge Caprio methodically dismantles that claim using evidence and video footage. The judge highlights her decision to leave the scene and contrasts it with the real-world impact on the victim, a 67-year-old Vietnam veteran struggling with medical and financial hardship, making it clear that status and excuses carry no weight here.
Legal strategy doesn't excuse moral obligation, Mr. Whitmore. Diana speaks up. "Your Honor, I understand I made a mistake. My family is prepared to pay for the damages. We just want to resolve this matter quietly and move forward." "Quietly?" Judge Caprio repeats. "Mrs. Crawford, you want to resolve this quietly because your husband is a state senator. but the Martinez family can't resolve their financial hardship quietly. Judge Caprio calls Officer Jennifer Santos, who arrested Diana. What was Mrs. Crawford's demeanor during the arrest? Dismissive, Your Honor. She repeatedly asked if we knew who her...
The situation escalates when testimony from the arresting officer reveals Diana's dismissive attitude and repeated attempts to invoke her husband's position. Body camera audio fills the room, capturing slurred threats and entitlement. Instead of showing remorse, Diana doubles down, and the courtroom shifts from routine sentencing to something far more serious, as her behavior begins to undermine the authority of the court itself.
Her husband was. She said this was a waste of police resources. The body camera audio plays. Diana's slurred voice fills the courtroom. Do you know who my husband is? He's a state senator. You're making a huge mistake. This will be taken care of. The silence is devastating. Mrs. Crawford, instead of taking responsibility, you threaten police officers with your husband's position. And that's when Diana makes her catastrophic mistake. She pulls out her cell phone and starts dialing. Mrs. Crawford, what are you doing? I'm calling my husband. He can explain this better than I can. The courtroom collectively holds its breath. Mrs. Crawford, put that phone away immediately. Diana continues holding the phone to her ear. He's the one who deals with legal matters. Judge Caprio's voice becomes ice cold. Mrs. Crawford, you just attempted to call your husband in the middle of proceedings. That is contempt of court. Judge Caprio makes a legendary decision. Bailiff, retrieve Mrs. Crawford's phone. Mrs. Crawford, you called your husband. We're going to talk to Senator Crawford right now. Diana's face goes pale. Within minutes, Senator Crawford is on speakerphone for the entire courtroom to hear. Senator Crawford, this is Judge Frank Caprio. Your wife is here for a DUI hearing, and she just attempted to call you in the middle of proceedings. Senator Crawford's voice fills the courtroom.
In a stunning moment, Diana pulls out her phone mid-hearing and attempts to call her husband. Judge Caprio immediately declares a contempt of court and makes the bold decision to put the senator on speakerphone. What follows is unexpected. Instead of intervening, Senator Crawford publicly condemns his wife's actions and asks the court to treat her like any other defendant, leaving Diana visibly shaken and exposed.
Room heavy with emotion. Your Honor, I apologize for my wife's behavior. She had no right to call me during court proceedings. I've advised her to take full responsibility and accept whatever consequences the court deems appropriate. This isn't the rescue Diana expected. Senator Crawford, are you asking this court to show leniency because of your position? The senator's answer makes Diana stagger. No, Your Honor. I'm asking you to treat her exactly as you would treat any other defendant. Her actions were wrong. Being married to a state senator doesn't excuse drunk driving or leaving an elderly veteran to deal with the consequences alone. Diana whispers urgently, Michael, what are you doing? Diana, I told you to take responsibility. You chose not to listen. I've spent my career working on criminal justice reform. I can't advocate for those principles publicly and then ask for exemptions privately. Senator Crawford continues, Robert Martinez is a Vietnam War veteran. My father served in Vietnam. The fact that my wife hit Mr. Martinez's car and drove away, leaving him to deal with the damage alone, is deeply shameful. Whatever sentence you determine is appropriate, you have my full support. My wife needs to learn that her last name doesn't grant immunity. The call ends. Diana stands alone, completely exposed. Mrs. Crawford, your husband just told me to treat you like any other defendant. Let's do exactly that. The sentence is comprehensive. $1,000 fine for DUI, 1-year license suspension, mandatory alcohol education, $500 fine, and 80 hours of community service at a veteran organization for leaving the scene, $250 fine for failure to render aid, and $500 fine for contempt of court, plus full restitution to Robert Martinez, $5,300 for repairs and deductible. Total financial impact, $7,550. And she must complete 80 hours specifically assisting elderly veterans with transportation. As Diana is processed out, she passes Robert Martinez without acknowledging him. Mr. Martinez stands. Your Honor, may I say something? I just want to thank you. I'm 67 years old. I served in Vietnam. Mrs. Crawford hit my car and drove away like I was nobody. You just showed me that in your courtroom, I'm somebody. Mr. Martinez, you've always been somebody. This court just made sure Mrs. Crawford learned that. 2 days later, Senator Crawford announces he and Diana are separating. My wife's behavior was unacceptable. I can't maintain my integrity while staying married to someone who believes political connections should erase criminal behavior. The separation becomes a...
Judge Caprio delivers a firm, comprehensive sentence focused on accountability, restitution, and service to veterans. The victim speaks, reminding the courtroom of dignity and equality under the law. In the aftermath, Diana's life unravels and then slowly transforms through service and reflection. The story closes on a lesson about integrity, justice, and consequences that no influence can erase. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.